Hey everybody, thank you for joining. I have a new brand for us to talk to. I'm excited about this one. It's called Kitset, and I'm going to let them talk about it. Welcoming William and Jennifer flew from New Zealand. Thanks, guys.
Thanks very much for the opportunity.
Absolutely. I'm excited to talk to you, just because I love your accents and it's just fun to talk to you guys, but also a super unique brand. Those of you who are watching will put a link to their website and commercial type thing. Get to sneak a little peek at Ryan Reynolds. So that I'll just leave it at that and we'll go from there. Let's talk about your model. Talk about what you do because it's so unique and needed and kind of an aha moment of, okay, where have they been all our lives, right?
Jen and I kicked off the business back in 2017. We had a couple of employees running around assembling bits and pieces of furniture, and we looked after one supplier. So our name Kitset, and I know in America it's called Ready to Assemble. In the early days, obviously we're running around doing all sorts of assembly work. Fast forward to where we are now, we have 35 franchisees across New Zealand and
Wow.
over 90 suppliers that we do work for. So suppliers that we do work for them in store. So we do their storefront fit outs, their floor fit outs, but then their customers want things assembled from a barbecue to a garden shed to whatever it may be that they're buying in store. So we do all that ready to assemble product.
And I think our aha moment came when guys on the ground, the assembly technicians, kept getting asked, can I just buy that display model and you deliver that rather than coming home and assemble it? Or can I take that off the floor and you assemble that for me rather than you assemble that for me? And so we started thinking there's got to be something in this. And it started with sheds because sheds were a bit more complicated with people. And then our catalogue just expanded and expanded and expanded to trampolines. We definitely call Christmas trampoline season because it's warm down under, and everybody wants Santa to deliver the trampoline on Christmas Eve. That's a very important thing. So we started getting Christmas Eve booked out in September, which was a crazy thing. So trampoline season stuck. Fitness equipment became a thing. Saunas, that's big right now. So many different product categories that we never even believed would be a thing. But as manufacturers want to ship their products at the cheapest possible rate, hence they want to ship in a nice square, easily shippable, easily transformable. It all goes in like Lego into a shipping container, and that's the cheap way for them. So that was the
and it shows up and we look at this box and go, oh great, we just bought ourselves 4 hours of work or 6 hours of work.
Those phone calls we used to get on the Monday morning of the wives calling up going, my husband thought he could put this together with his mates over a couple of beers over the weekend. Please come and save us. And it was that led into our tagline, saving marriages one assembly at a time.
Oh, that's awesome.
And that definitely stuck.
Absolutely. I mean, we were talking offline, and those of you watching know we have franchises, and Brad is kind of the daily operator of those. And when we got into game day, he had to put together 3 desks, 7 file cabinets, the whole front area, everything, even the coffee tables and the chairs got delivered in boxes. One giant shipment. We'll probably link it here. We'll show a picture of Brad with all of the boxes. We were so excited because we were, a couple days into it, you're not as excited anymore. All of a sudden, you're like, okay, wait a second.
Well, you got to ask yourself, what's the best use of your time, right, Lisa? Even our big suppliers, the big stores, like we're Bunnings, Mitre 10 over here, equivalent to your Home Depot over there. They think to themselves, do I get a staff member to assemble this barbecue, this furniture? But that might take him all day to do one barbecue. The employee's on an hourly rate, so he doesn't care how long it takes him to do it. Our guys are going to come in there, get it done as quick as possible, get out of there, and their guys are still on the floor. They're still on the floor selling things to customers.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Well, the big supply partners, it was a no-brainer, and we've got a great software model that links to that as well. So it was easy. We make it easy for them. That's the whole purpose. We want to make it easy. We want to give people the opportunity not to assemble. We don't want to say, don't do it. If that's your gig, sweetheart, go ahead and assemble the heart out of anything. But we want to give people the opportunity not to assemble. That's been our goal from day one.
I love it. Okay, so if you're just kind of following along here, so the business model is you get a box full of 700 carts and we're going to call their team and you guys are going to come and and set it up. You're gonna say, okay, if it's a barbecue, if it's a sauna, if it's office furniture, whatever,
That's exactly right.
That's our people. And so let's shift into business owner, franchise owner mode. Now, obviously, you guys are from New Zealand. You do have a franchisee here in Georgia. So you do have your first franchisee here. But so talk a little bit about owner day in the life. Like, what is an owner for this business? They're, I'm assuming, not in the van with the screwdriver and the cape, right? So what are they doing in the business?
For a franchisee, like take Stephen in Atlanta, we actually trained him down in New Zealand. He was one of our first. So obviously we're an emerging brand in America. So sort of finding our way and the best way to do some of those things. But for Stephen, the day in the life for him is no day is the same. Lisa, you know, today I might be assembling a trampoline or might be doing a garden shed or a glass house. And then tomorrow I've got a sauna booked in, and on the way home I can pop in and do something else on a bedside table. So it's about having that variety. So a lot of our guys like the variety. They're not just doing the same thing day in and day out. It's mixing it up. Guys like to mix it up. Software program, it pushes jobs through to their device. So they know the jobs they've got coming up. They know what's in their schedule. And one of the most important things for our guys, Lisa, is controlling their schedule themselves, because some of these guys want to be able to pick up the kids from school, drop them off, whatever it may be. They want that flexibility. So they don't want us to load a job in their schedule at a particular day and a particular time, because they want to control that themselves. So what we say to guys, that they must call that customer. So once a job comes in, they must call that customer by the close of the next business day and confirm a day and a time that works for both of them, for him to go and assemble that product. He'll rock up there, he'll assemble the product, and if the customer wants the rubbish taken away for a small fee, he'll take away the rubbish as well.
Got it. And so they are assembling owners.
For an assembly technician, for an owner, operator, franchisee who is the sole operator of that business, absolutely. If we're talking about a master franchise, then obviously the master franchisor would have assembly technicians under him in the business. So it depends on the setup they decide within their business and the size of territory they'd like to take.
Okay, got it. So when I'm talking to people, I can say, do you want to be the assembler, or do you want to start out as the assembler but possibly get off the truck, become the leader, drive the culture, and hire multiple assemblers in your market?
And our opportunity for a master, there's an opportunity for that master owner to put in a minimum of 50 franchise territories. So it's a massive opportunity.
Just for those of you that are watching, so master franchise means you're going to essentially be acting as franchisor in your market. That's going to be a big market. That's going to be, hey, I want to take over Wisconsin, and then you're going to have the rights to grow in Wisconsin. You're going to be in charge of finding those franchisees, then also getting them trained. The reward for that is also then sharing in franchise fee, and then sharing the long-term revenue from the other franchisees in your market, right?
100%.
And we've built a system which, one of my favorite sayings is keep it simple, stupid, the KISS policy. And so we've really simplified down all of the steps, all of the mistakes we probably made in the beginning. We've ironed those out. And that's what we took from New Zealand to Australia, now into America. We've got a beautiful flat pack business in a box, and we have that nicely packaged. So they have the software, they have the accounting system, they have all of the steps to make their business setup, whether you are that individual assembly technician franchisee in your vehicle with the mobile vehicle, or you are choosing to be that larger model, the master franchisor with assembly technicians operating underneath you. We've got those systems really seamless now. I'm very, very proud of the business we've built. I don't know if that shows. But yeah, really, really proud of the system we've built and the team that we've built it with, because we couldn't do this just on our own. But the whole idea was we want to give people autonomy and make it easier than what we had when we first came through.
Absolutely. Let me clarify this, and it might be just me getting into my franchise head a little bit. So one person owner can come in and buy maybe a zip code, be awarded a zip code. What they do with their business, most likely they are going to be owner operator, meaning taking stuff out of the box and assembling it. So
Correct.
say someone wants to come in and buy the rights to 5 zip code territory. Are they now considered a master, or are they just considered a multi-unit developer, meaning a master has to sell franchises, where a multi-unit developer just has to grow a larger business?
Yeah, really, really good question, Lisa. So for some ease of the numbers and how we've broken down America in the sense of, like, there's 50 states in America. We've broken America down into 65 markets.
Okay.
Now a market is the same size as New Zealand, 5 million people. So we know what we did in New Zealand, right? We know what done in Australia. All we're saying is we're going to do the same in America. Either looking for a team, a husband and wife team, or whatever team that you decide, as a master to grow the business and then put on a minimum of 50 franchisees in that territory. And so that's for 5 million people. So a master is 5 million people, and a franchisee is 100,000 people. So if someone wanted to buy a multi-unit, he might take 200, 300,000 people. That would be 3 territories.
Just want to make sure we had it right. So for those that are watching, are like, okay, maybe I don't want to bite off and become a sub-franchisor or whatever that is. They can still just do a multi-unit, have some technicians working for them as a W-2 type of employee, and not necessarily be biting off a $5 million person territory.
Yeah, 100%.
And we also wanted, recognizing that we wanted flexibility in our lives, we're not the only people that want flexibility when they're operating, when they're being an entrepreneur or anything like that. If we can provide that flexibility, I think that's a better opportunity for people to feel happy about the work they're doing. Everybody wants different things in their lives. So if we can offer that, that's great.
Absolutely. Talk to us a little bit about what's in your item 7 as far as single unit cost to get into the business. For those of you that are watching, they're not going to have an item 19 yet. It's too soon. This really is one of those brands that they're going to have to prove out their model here in the US before we're going to start talking about revenue. You can talk to the franchisee in Atlanta to start to get an understanding of what the projections are. But the brand in this case just isn't going to be able to talk to you a whole lot about potential earnings just because of how it's all positioned in the US. But you can talk to us about the investment. So let us know how much it's going to cost.
Absolutely. So to buy an individual franchise is $49,500.
Yep.
You're going to need to bring or have a van or a truck, and that needs to be wrapped in our colors in the green and the black. That'll cost between $5,000 and $7,000, and you're going to need about $2,500 to $3,000 worth of tools. So what we say to our guys is you're going to need, if you've got to buy a vehicle, and let's say assume that everyone needed to bring a vehicle to the table, you're going to need between $90,000 and $120,000. Of course, that gives you about 4 to 5 months cash flow as well. Because you've got to remember, getting into a new business, it's going to be a little bit slow, and then it's going to pick up as you get out there. More and more work starts coming in, and especially as you start getting faster assembling stuff. In our model, you don't get an hourly rate, you get a job rate. So for example, a trampoline's $190. The first time you do a trampoline might take you 3 hours, but then you're doing them in 45 minutes.
And that's exactly what all of our franchisees go through. We never base pricing off the first time you assemble something. They get a fairly intense 3-week training period where they assemble a wide variety of products with the assembly technicians on the ground so that they've got a good foundation to build off for assembling their products. There's no possible way they can assemble every product in that training period. So training is ongoing. We have really good field trainers who can tap into any questions that ask. So for anybody coming into business, they've got almost an immediate source of our whole network. I call them our little green men, like Buzz Lightyear has the little green men with the Unimind.
Yep.
He laughs at me when I refer to Buzz Lightyear, but
showing your age.
I think it's perfect. And they're our color, right? Green is our color.
So sorry, just on that, Lisa, all our guys are on WhatsApp.
Yes.
So the whole team is on WhatsApp. So the phone will be tinging away, and there'll be a guy saying, "Oh, I'm just on site. I haven't assembled one of these before. Can someone give me some tips and tricks?" We get responses from all over New Zealand and Australia. We guys have said, "Oh, I did one of those last week, mate. Watch out for this. Oh, or let's do a video call." And they'll walk around. "Oh, you've got that upside down. Turn it around the other way." So We've got all that knowledge base there, Lisa.
We've got a great support network. That was one of the things we've infused from the beginning. We didn't want preciousness in the business. We wanted people, they're in business for themselves, but nobody is by themselves. Nobody's on site by themselves. Nobody's trying to work through the books and understand, do I have to do this with this or this with that? Nobody's ever by themselves. Because I think that was one of the things we found when we first started out in business many, many years ago. We had to struggle through a lot of things, and there wasn't people in the background able to provide practical, simple answers.
Right.
I know franchising isn't a new thing, but I like to think we're bringing a little bit something different to the table with our fee model. We don't do a percentage of sales. We have fixed fees. We want, if somebody wants to work really hard, that's going to go in their pocket, not in our pocket, not in the franchisor's pocket. So those were a couple of things we established early on to make our franchise system
unique. Yeah, as much as it can be.
Kitset is unique. We think it's a real simple solution for customers. It's a real simple solution for suppliers. It's a real simple solution for business owners as well.
Don't miss that, guys, when you're watching this. Yes, it sounds super B2C, you're putting trampolines together, but it becomes B2B pretty quickly. We were talking again kind of before this started, the Home Depots and the Lowe's of the world. Somebody's putting all that stuff together. They don't always want to pay their guys on the floor 3 hours of time to do it when they can just call your team and be like, hey, we got our spring load. We need 17 of these different range ovens put together, or whatever it is, right? The grills.
Yeah, I mean, we've done in Australia, the team over there have had some really unique jobs, which have been pretty cool. Tasmania, a little island off Australia. We had 3 of our guys flowing down from the Gold Coast to Tasmania for a week to do a big gym fit out. We've done gym fit outs on Navy frigates for the Defence Force. Just different stuff, which you wouldn't think about.
We also did X-ray tables in New Zealand, so I do think that means we're qualified doctors now. I think we are. So that was pretty exciting. When we got the X-ray tables through, I was going, are you kidding? Wow, this is a...
Right, like sometimes it's just fun. Like, hey, what else can we go put?
Yeah, collectively across the group, Lisa, we got 250 years of collective experience, of assembly experience. So we've made the mistakes. The new guys can learn from that. Yeah. Just put your hand up and ask. We're here to help.
Absolutely. And that's what franchising is in a nutshell. It's
right.
part that it's hard to put into the brochures for people to understand, but it really is like you're walking shoulder to shoulder with other people who are not your competition, who truly want the best for this business, and they know that all tides, right? Everyone does better when everyone does better. So
absolutely right.
And that's exactly what we can't succeed. We can't do well unless the assembly technicians, unless everybody on the ground is actually doing well. Because what's the point? We've all got to
be something in it for the other guy.
Yeah, most
Absolutely.
Definitely.
So definitely, if you want more information, please reach out. I know there's a lot kind of holes in this as far as, well, I want to have a question there and I want to know that answer. and that means reach out. Let's get us together. You're representing the brand right now, right? When I call and say, hey, I have someone interested in Dallas, Texas, you guys are the one that are going to talk to them and walk them through the process, right?
100%.
But William also puts them in contact with some assembly technicians in Australia and New Zealand as well. We don't want them just talking to us. We want them talking to people who have the real experience of building a business and what that's like.
Do their own due diligence.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay. Very good. And that's where you're going to get around, everybody that's watching, that's where you're going to get around some of those questions around item 19. Correct. When you're going to say, well, how much money and how quickly can I scale and how many jobs did you do in the first month? And they're going to say, like, wait, we're not allowed to answer that. But we can connect you with other franchisees here in New Zealand that can answer those questions as far as how we grew. And is it a different country? Yes, we get that. But as you start to talk to them, you're going to start to feel sameness in how to grow the business and opportunity.
And we fully understand there's differences. I mean, there was differences between Australia and New Zealand when we first went into Australia.
I think the difference is in the different countries.
The premise of growing the business remains the same. That same secret sauce that we build into our business is actually the same no matter which country you're in. Any customer isn't going to need an assembly technician until they've got a flat pack or ready to assemble product sitting in their lounge or ready to pick up from the store. It's that same premise. And the requirement to put them together is exactly that same premise. The nuts and bolts of actually putting it together and building the business is the same.
See what you did there. Okay, guys, now one of the things that we talked about was the immense kind of software that you guys have put together to help the franchisees grow. So give us some information around that so I can make them as excited as I was excited to hear about it.
So we have, especially in New Zealand, we have brochures like this, and nothing special about the sort of front of the brochure, but on the back, there's a QR code. Now, a customer at the store can scan that QR code, which will push them through to a booking portal, will look and feel like the store they're in. It'll even have their logos on there, and it will only have the stock on in that portal of the product that store sells. They can then find the product they've purchased, put their zip code in there, and it'll bring up a price to have that product assembled in their house. If they accept the job, it goes straight through to the franchisee that bought that zip code. We have thousands of products on there.
That's beautiful.
Yeah, it's really, really user-friendly and really good for the franchisee. But here's
I'm standing in Home Depot and I'm trying to decide between two different grills. I can scan the QR code and you can tell me how much it's going to cost to assemble said grill in Home Depot that I'm looking at and saying this is outside of my... Okay, got it.
And we keep checking on that. We're the only first in the world where we can bring that to customers, that they can have an assembly price up front. So they always know what it's going to cost them.
That's awesome. Very cool, guys. Love the concept. Think it's great. It's so unique. It's one of those that's definitely going to fall into the why didn't I think of that category?
Yeah.
So,
and we hear that all the time.
Thank you for watching. If you're ready to take the next step, Integrity Franchise Group is here to help. Click the link below or reach out to us today to schedule an appointment. Let's work together to solve that franchise puzzle and turn your business dreams into reality. We cannot wait to connect with you.